You know, we come on here and we have all these conversations with black liberals, white liberals, progressives, etc., etc. And it seems like we keep saying the same thing over and over again. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to put my thoughts into video form. That way, when they have questions, they can come back and use this as a reference. They tell us black conservatives that we are supporting the wrong party and that we are voting against our best interests. But I often ask, have you actually looked at what Democrats platform on? And then how it's actually applied. But firstly, have you actually examined how black Americans started voting for Democrats in the first place? So we have to roll back our clock to about 1936. FDR rolls out the New Deal after the Great Depression, which is supposed to help a lot of black Americans and impoverished Americans. Because of the New Deal, black Americans started to shift their support to the Democrats, even though the Democrats were the party of Jim Crow and the KKK. They were sold promises by the Democratic Party that one, had no way of ensuring, two, had no intention of alienating their white Southern supporters. Have you ever read this article from the National Review titled "How the New Deal Harmed Black Americans"? In it, it actually talks about how the New Deal was bad for black Americans. His housing policies reinforced neighborhood segregation, refused to support anti-lynching legislation introduced in both the House and Senate, and as the U.S. Department of Agriculture now freely admits, his New Deal was, for the most part, a bad deal for black farmers, forcing thousands off their land. Same Democratic Party, same tactics today. Black Americans today are still being promised the world and delivered on nothing by the Democratic Party. And today, the Democratic Party has more black representation. Even had the first black president, even though he's biracial. Even had the first black VP, even though she's also biracial. And for some reason only claims to be black when it's convenient, but that's for another day. But do we sit back and ask why? Why do we give them loyalty? What values and policies do black Americans espouse that links us to the Democratic Party? Most importantly, have they delivered on these promises? So when considering what policies are important to black America, I'm going to go ahead and be the first one to put it out there. Foreign policy is not high on the list. According to a new poll done by Pew Research, economics, as in job opportunities, education, housing, taxes, impact of illegal immigration, and livable wages are very high on the priority list. Criminal justice reform, such as safer communities, policing, and prison reform. Health and wellness, such as available, affordable health care and abortion rights. Now, I'm not going to get into that in this video because this video is already 3 minutes long. First video, we'll delve into the economics. Next video, we'll talk about the criminal justice reform. And the last video, we'll talk about healthcare. I will be posting these videos onto my YouTube page. You'll only be able to get snippets here. Make sure, if you have not done so, that you are following me across my social media platforms. It's Mr. Full Services back on Instagram. Also the same on YouTube. Make sure it's all one word. Also follow me on Truth Social as Mr. Full Service. Also on X as Mr. Full Service. Make sure to give us a follow, like, comment, share. Talk to you soon.